April 15th, 2021. I hope everyone's doing great. We're on a rain delay right now on the job site, so I'm going to do a quick video for you guys. Everyone's talking about, that thing happening and how they're going to need it continuously. If you are going for in your body, instead of taking accountability for your health, which means drinking good water, eating good food, exercise, meditation, going within to your heart, connecting to God, source, the very essence that animates all of this. If you're not doing that and you just expect that you can keep eating, toxic poison and drinking chemical-laced water and beverages and then just, get one of these to make it all go away, it's not how this works. It never is. But a lot of people are being tricked into doing that because they've been fed fear, nonstop, regurgitated every day on every channel of that box that you watch. Now, yes, I'm talking to a box, my phone, so I'm not saying I'm better or worse than anybody, but I'm saying there are certain things you can do with these boxes that are better than other things. So if I'm watching the mainstream programming that wants to make me live in fear and keeps broadcasting a number of how many people dead instead of how many people survived, it's a perception. It's a skewed perception. So I choose not to do that with the boxes that I use, my cell phone or which if you think about the word cell phone, it's like a cell. It really is. If you're attached to this thing too much, you're not using it just to get some good information and share some information and then go within and process that information. It could be like a cell. It can trap you, and it also does damage to your cells. Bottom line, what I wanted to get on here and talk about, I just saw a video of somebody reporting about this Suez Canal issue going on over there. That story's not over yet. None of these stories are over yet. It's just going real slow because the people who are programmed by their boxes cannot hear this information real fast. They will hesitate. They will worry. They'll live in fear. They will panic, really. So basically, it's got to happen slow. So people like me who have been paying attention and doing their best to help other people pay attention and see what's going on, it's molasses. It's moving very slow for us. But once the news is out, there's no putting it back. People will see and say, whoa, what's going on? This isn't what I was told. So when that ship jammed and caused a traffic jam, it was done on purpose. And there were things on that ship that need to be brought to the public. So the traffic jam had to happen on purpose so that everybody knows about the ship. It's all over the news everywhere. And then the truth comes out of what was really on board that ship. Who was really on board? What types of weapons were on board? What types of chemical warfare was on board that was planned on blotting out the sun in June? Some really nasty stuff they were planning. And, I know it sounds crazy, and it's really good if you think that sounds crazy, because that means you're questioning things. You're doubting things. Now that you have that down, next time look at who you're questioning and doubting. Start questioning everybody and then figure out who's right or wrong. Because the people on the mainstream are often, actually, you're nearly always wrong. They're purposely being misleading you. And the tapes coming out with Project Veritas are proving this. They're showing us these people talking about how they do it. I've been saying for years they've been programming you, and now they're actually coming out on undercover cameras saying, yeah, they were programming you. So, some people won't wake up still after seeing that, but the vast majority will. And once we do wake up, we take our power back. When you're on that path, you're going to learn accountability. You're going to learn how to heal yourself of all disease. There are cures for all disease. Let's put that on the record. I've talked about it a lot, but all imbalance is balanceable. It just takes the proper education, the proper insight, the proper intuition from your heart, and the proper amount of energy and a path away from the out of balance. So clean, structured water. So another thing, we're not taught how water really works. I'm still figuring it out. I've been studying water for a while, and it's amazing. Water is source energy. I have a video on my YouTube channel, all my channels, Telegram, Rumble, all of that, explaining it's called Water is Source Energy. Water remembers everything. It has memory. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but if you look at the molecular makeup of water molecules, they hold energy, vibration. That's memory. I mean, a memory is literally recording energetic vibrations, because anything you have a memory of, it took energy to make that happen. It is energy. So you can record things in water. You can record things in crystals. And again, your body's made of 70-something%. I think it's up to 80% water. And there's quartz crystal throughout your body. So, we need quartz in our body. Your teeth. Every time you chew, you're squeezing, compressing, and that's a piezoelectric effect. Look it up if you've never heard of it, please. When you squeeze a quartz crystal, it transmutes that pressure, that energy we call pressure, into a different frequency, a different form of energy. That's why quartz is in our watches, in our cell phones. It's all over the place. It's in our body, because every time you chew, it releases energy. That energy goes through the nerves, through your body, into an organ. Each tooth goes to a separate organ. Every time you chew, you're charging up your organs. That's why when people are nervous, they start chewing ice or chewing food. Or when people stop smoking cigarettes or other addictive habits, they chew things, they eat a lot, and then they gain weight, because usually they're eating GMO food that's designed, literally, hear me out right now, please, because I love you. I'm not selling anything. I'm not pitching anything. This is just me coming from heart to you. The GMOs are poisoning us. So the biggest fast food, with the Arches, the biggest fast food place on the planet, when they grow potatoes, they spray Monitor. It's a toxic chemical on the potatoes. The farmers aren't allowed to enter that field for 4 days. 4 days. And then once they do harvest the potatoes, they have to sit in an atmosphere-controlled building for 6 weeks to outgas the toxins. How is that allowed? And then at the same time, they're telling us, these companies are giving people a hard time, small businesses and things, local businesses, a hard time over lead paint or asbestos, which are toxic for sure. But don't go after the small guys. That's a symptom. Treat the cause where it's coming from. Find those big corporations who made billions off of making it and putting it out in the atmosphere and into the world. Same with the GMOs. Find these big corporate giants like Monsanto, who's been literally poisoning our food for generations now. All over the world, Monsanto is looked at as a criminal organization because they've literally been killing crops and killing people. You're going to see a famine in the near future. It's already happening around the world, but food prices are going up. Well, what does that mean to us? That means that their food is getting more scarce, as well as the dollar losing value. So our food is being poisoned, and crops are being lost, and good food, organic, non-GMO food, okay? Food is being more and more scarce. What you see at the store, if it doesn't say organic, non-GMO, which I'm against that altogether, it should just say food. Everything else should be called synthetic, modified, chemical-laced byproduct, or whatever you want to call it. It's not even food anymore. It's no longer fit for human consumption. So if you're eating fast food, if you're eating the foods that don't say organic, non-GMO, you're poisoning yourself. There's a very high chance that you are. And then you expect that an injection that's modified and chemical laced, synthetic chemical laced, I know everything's chemical, but synthetic chemical laced, that's just, we're the adults. I really want to know. I know there's a lot of you out there that are brilliant, far smarter than I am right now, and remember a lot more than I do. But really, guys, we're poisoning ourselves on every level. Food, air, water, education, environment, thoughts, all of it. And expecting to get healthy and stay healthy. And then we're surprised when people are getting sick from a virus. Viruses are necessary. They're messengers. They're vehicles to remove things out of your body that don't belong there and transfer energy. So if there were no such thing as viruses or bacteria, you wouldn't be able to survive. Your physical body would not be able to survive. So we need to be aware of what we're living in and how we live, because viruses and bacteria that are harmful, they're opportunistic. If your body's out of balance, if it's resonating at a frequency no longer conducive for health, those bugs will thrive. If your body's resonating at a higher consciousness, a higher level of plant-based diet, clean, structured memory, good memory water with pH balance, organic food, you're not going to get sick. You can be immune to all disease by taking care of yourself and your thoughts and your emotions, more importantly. So that's all there is to it. And we've been programmed. There's been a group of people who have been wanting to poisoning us for a very long time, and they use education systems, they use religions, they use the propaganda machines that we call the news, newspapers, all of that. They use that to sculpt and mold your consciousness. So, and they have the free will right to do that. It's your fault if you give into their temptation and manipulation. If you don't take accountability and see past their lies, the way they look at it, you deserve what you get. And that's unfortunate. It's hard to look at that way. But in reality, what makes us stronger? Resistance. You know, if you had an easy life, everything's spoon-fed to you, no pain, no physical issues, no nothing, you really wouldn't learn. You wouldn't have an incentive to learn and grow. You know, I mean, you can, but not nearly as the way we are right now. So by having all these oppressive systems around us, it's teaching us to rise out of them, take our accountability back, take our God-given power back. You don't need a Bill of Rights, a Constitution, or a Nuremberg code or any of that to tell you that you are a human being with free will. But those do help as well in this system that we live in. So at least acknowledge those. More importantly, acknowledge your heart center, source, that divine essence that powers and animates everything. That's your true power. So, you know, you don't have to, but that's what I choose to do. And I love you all. I hope you're well. My face is looking red right now. We're tearing down a building, and I got, you know, a bunch of abrasive stuff, and I was rubbing my face, so it looks red right now. And it's cold out. It's raining and cold out now here in Ohio. But it's better than snow, and I'm blessed to be able to work and walk. And, you know, I was bedridden for 4.5 years, and it was 2018, I got all the hardware out of my back. And that was literally from my neck to my tailbone. There were rods holding my spine up. So no longer do I have that in there. So now all my weight is on my muscles in my back because my spine is curved still to the point that it doesn't hold the weight. So my muscles hold the weight. But I'm out working. I'm out doing stuff. I'm made to live and walk and move. It's an honor. It is an honor to be out of that bed, off the pharmaceuticals, out of the doctor's hands. I love doctors. I love everybody. I love everybody. You guys know that by now if you listen to any of my videos. I genuinely love all beings. But the egos of some beings I disagree with. And the doctors offered me resistance, but if I would have kept going with them, you know, stayed with them, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I probably wouldn't have survived, because the amount of pharmaceuticals, synthetics they were putting in my body was making my body acidic, which means my body was attacking itself. It was breaking itself down, wearing out faster. So, and the only answer they had was more and more surgeries. By the time I was done with the doctors, they literally were saying, you know, I don't know what else to do for you. And that's when I took my accountability back. I was like, well, I need to figure this out myself. Enough's enough. So I love them, but they just don't have all the answers. Nobody does, but they don't have enough answers for what they're doing. If they're saying, hey, I'm going to help you, cut you open, spend $1 million and, you know, maybe paralyze you, they need to be more educated, more knowledge-based, and more love-based. So I love you all. Please be well, and I will talk to you on the next one. It's time to go back to work. We got the truck back.